Hey guys, it's Tanner Manson from Future Investing, and today I want to talk to you about passive income. First off, let me start by saying this is not one of those get-rich-quick scheme videos. I actually don't believe in a fast way of becoming rich. It's a mindset, in my opinion. The ability to set really tough financial goals and sacrificing the short-term fun of that money, going out and eating expensive dinners or buying new clothes or any of these things, to invest it for your long-term future and success. That way you don't have to worry about your bills in the long run. So how do we do that? How do we make our money start making us some money? And through that, I'd say dividend, passive income, investing in stocks, and having them pay you a little salary over time to keep you invested. Let's jump right into it and see if we can make you some money over time. Just as a disclaimer, although I am actually a licensed financial security advisor as my full-time job, none of these stocks or topics that we talk about today are in any way my recommendation. This is merely my opinion, and you can choose to do what you wish with this information. First off, let's talk about what even is a stock. Well, some of you guys probably know this, and this could be basic, but I want to make sure that we're all on the same playing field here. So a stock is a publicly traded company, which means anyone who wants to be a part owner in this company are able to buy shares, whether it's from the initial public offering or from a secondary market, like buying it in like the way you would do it with a baseball card. One way is to buy it from the convenience store. Another way is to buy it off of a friend for maybe a more expensive price because he got the card you wanted, or maybe a cheaper price because he no longer wants it, it's damaged, whatever. Same sort of thing applies here with stocks on the stock market. Unlike baseball cards or any sort of asset that sort of sits there and does nothing, just how much the next person wants to pay for it, a business actually makes money. Warren Buffett actually makes a great example of this with if he were to buy all the gold in the world versus all the farmland. I mean, all the gold on this side is sitting pretty and yeah, it shines and it's whatever, but it doesn't do anything. It would just sit there and shine. Whereas farmland, if you were to just buy it and it operates itself and everything along those lines, it would actually produce for you each year. Not only that, but just like a business, that farmland or whatever can actually perform better than when you had purchased it. Let's do Apple, for example. Let's say you buy $500 worth of Apple stock. Okay, you buy shares of Apple. Now, what if after that time that you had bought it, a year later, whatever, they had released a new iPhone? This iPhone has crushed all the new competitors. It's got a chip in it that just is making all the tech guys go crazy, whatever. And then they actually project double the sales for this new iPhone. And that happens, all right? Would that stock be worth the same amount if they were to double their income? Probably not. It might even be double if it was fairly valued on both sides. So your initial $500 investment, if you were to sell it, might actually net you $1,000 at the end. So that's one way of making money in the stock market, but it's not the only way. The other way to make money on the stock market would be through a beautiful thing called dividends. All right, dividends are a thank you card, practically, from companies that say, hey, we appreciate you investing with us. If you want to continue investing with us, here is a check from us. There's no, you don't have to sell to us. You don't have to sell anything. You can just sit there and accept our money for being an owner. This is your salary for being a part owner of this company. It's all dependent on what percentage of the company that you own. All right. If you were to get 1% on $1,000 of a company, you might receive $10. All right. But if you own 1% and you own $10,000, well, then you might receive $100. And this is on a per year basis. So going forward, if we do talk about dividends, it's a percentage base that they are planning on paying out annually. Now, not every company on the stock market actually pays a dividend. At a basic level, there's about two different types of companies that operate on the stock market. There are growth companies, which are your Facebook, your Amazon, your Shopify, your Salesforce. These companies won't pay a dividend for a long time. They're trying to spend all their money on innovation to try to beat the competitors in the long run. Okay, they can't afford to cut the shareholders a check, although who knows? If Facebook finds a new way to capture a bigger audience, they might double their sales overnight. So that's why it's called a growth stock. Versus a value stock, something along the lines of McDonald's, for example, or Walmart. These companies that we know aren't going to die overnight. There's no way a competitor is going to come in and just beat out Walmart or beat out McDonald's anytime soon. But they also don't need that much more money to figure out that, who knows, they could put relish on a burger or they can sell a new tent. These sort of companies are allowed to pay a dividend because they don't need all that much money for innovation. They know how much they pay out in salaries. They know how much it's going to cost them at tax time. They know the business very, very well. And so they thank the shareholders for being with them and hope they buy more shares in the future. Now, some of these companies just know what they're doing so well, and there's not too much innovation that they're able to give out such big dividends because that's what they want to entice people to, buy the shares over the long term. AT&T is a huge example of this, but today we're going to use as an example, we're going to use Enbridge. They're a gas company here in Canada. They pay a massive 8.5% dividend. Just to put that into perspective, if you had $1,000 each year, that would pay you $85 a year. Obviously, these are not big paychecks and very far off the $1,000 a month that I had promised you at the beginning. But let me show you how we're going to get there, and stick with me because it is actually, although it seems like it's a hard goal, it's not. It's very obtainable. It's the idea of the snowball effect, and each year it becomes easier and easier. And as your human capital becomes better, your ability to make income, because you are your greatest asset, regardless if some people think it's their house or whatever, your greatest asset is you to be able to make income. If you're making a $50,000 salary and your one investment property is definitely not making you $50,000 or $60,000 in income, well, then you make a lot more than your investment property, right? Makes sense. I get off track a lot. So in Enbridge's case, you would need, with an 8.5% dividend, $141,200 to be able to make your $1,000 a month or $12,000 a year. Now, let's talk about how we're going to get there. Let's put away $250 a month, okay? You can always increase that if you start to make more money, if you already do make more money. If you're not there, we can work into that. But $250 is a reasonable goal, in my opinion, very achievable, and not a lot of people are going to know that that's even missing each month. With that going into your account, coupled with the stock giving you 8.5% dividends each year, being paid out quarterly, so divide that by 4, that would take you 19 years to be able to make the $141,200 that it would take us to make our $1,000 of passive income. I know that seems crazy, but as we start to get more money, like let's say if we start to scale into putting in $300, well then just add that in, it'll be shorter. 400, 500, whatever you guys can be able to put in. Let's say you guys don't go out for dinner one week, and then that whatever, $40 or whatever, can get you another share of Enbridge. I mean, it's all about taking those slow, hard steps to be able to achieve those goals that you want in the long term. Don't forget that this is a compounding effect, okay? So at 19 years, just to get us $1,000 a month doesn't seem like a lot, but if you just push that even 7 more years, okay, to 26 years, and this is still at the $250 a month. So if you increase that, obviously this will increase as well. But at 26 years, that'll bring you up to $2,000 because the amount of interest that we start to make really starts to accumulate. Just so we're both aware, whether you're wanting $1,000, $2,000, $5,000, $500 of passive income, the same strategy applies. Just scale it to whatever amount that you're looking for. Obviously, like I said at the top of the video, there are many ways to make passive income in this world, but dividend passive income is one of the truly zero management strategies at all. There's no driving over to your tenant's place, picking up the checks. There's nothing. It just drops right into your account, and then you can have it automatically set up to either reinvest to make you more money or to just be sent to your checkings, and then you can spend it how you will. Now, obviously, like I said, dividends of 8.5% are obviously quite high, okay? But let me leave you with one more thing before I go. What if we owned and bought Enbridge at a price point of around $20? But today it's actually $40, so we've doubled our initial investment. Would our dividend payments still be 8.5%? Because the amount that our stock, because it's doubled, wouldn't our dividend payments double from our principal as well? The yield, or the dividend payout price, represents the amount of money that it's going to pay out at the current stock price value. So if the stock price doubles since when we've owned it, it's not paying out an 8.5% dividend anymore. It's actually closer to around 17%. See, 19 years is assuming that Enbridge is going to stay at $40 across the board and pay out the same dividend. Well, what if we continue to put in money, the stock is increasing, their dividend is increasing, and all the while our principal was back at either $20 or even $40? Why is $40 the high for this company? Why isn't it $80? Okay, so there can be times where, for example, Warren Buffett owning Coca-Cola, at the price point that he had bought in at, now since Coca-Cola has gotten bigger, they've paid out a bigger dividend, they sell more cans of Coke and other brands, that he actually makes a 62% dividend from that company. I am in no way telling you to buy Enbridge stock. I think actually a wide range of dividend growth companies would be best for you. I'd probably even be better telling you to buy Vanguard's high dividend ETF. I mean, that's a lot better, in my opinion. I'd probably be able to recommend that. But like I said, this is just an example. Start working on your passive income today. You will get there. It's not that far away. And your human capital is going to choose how fast you're going to get there. Anyways, guys, if you like today's video, please give it a like. It really helps out the algorithm. And if you want to see more content, subscribe. Check out some of my other videos. I don't think my last cruise stock video is getting as much love as I wanted. I think it's probably one of my better videos. I mean, I'm still getting started, but we'll see. Hopefully every video is progressing better and better. But yeah, just as a disclaimer, although I am actually a licensed financial security advisor as my full-time job, none of these stocks or topics that we spoke about today are in any way my recommendation. This is merely my opinion, and you can choose to do what you wish with this information. Bye now.